Well, here we go again with Secret Invasion, and I just have one question. What exactly is the point of this show? I get that people like Samuel L. Jackson and the cast, I do too. However, that doesn't mean much without good character development and high stakes. This show has none of that. Okay, let's get to it. It's episode 3. Over in Moscow, Gravik reveals exactly what you thought he would. The machine is an augmentation device that aims to create super Skrulls. They want to use it to break humanity while we're busy fighting each other, and they want to start that by having a British sub strike at the UN? Why is that? The UN is a forum, and it's not particularly effective either. How would that spark World War III? Back in 1998, we get to see how Fury and his wife started their relationship. In the present, however, she's irritated at him because he was willingly gone for so long. Fury is a little suspicious that she might be allied with Gravik for some reason, but there's no real proof of that. And then she takes a mysterious phone call. Meanwhile, Gravik asks Gaia to come with him to a meet. One jet ride later, he reveals that Talos called for a parley and lets slip critical details of the UN plot. Naturally, Gaia types the info into her phone. At the parley, Gravik threatens Gaia's life, which makes Talos very angry. He tries to strangle the Tango, but stops because the crowd around them are Skrulls. After that, it's largely a battle of mindsets. Gravik is extremely self-assured, but Talos knows better.
They're at their most formidable when they're threatened.
At the very least, Ben Mendelsohn elevates the paper-thin material to something more than it is. Talos tells Gravik that he'll rat him out to every army on the planet. Gravik mentions Gaia again, and that wasn't a good idea. Well, it's a good thing that he's on humanity's side. An old British guy hands Gaia's cell to Talos, so he has all the info he needs, for this week anyway. At the local pub, Talos chows down on a decent plate of food. Fury enters and talks about how there's allegedly a rebel Skrull inside the US government, but Talos needs him to say something.
Help me, Talos, because I am useless without you.
Well, they're friends again. That's nice. Nick calls Sonya and gets a little bit stonewalled. However, she does point out the location of Robert Fairbanks, the commander of the sub. After Talos reminds Fury that he and his Skrulls gave him a lot of intel, they invade Fairbanks' house. Most of the security guards are actually Skrulls, so it's not morally murky at all. Fury's usage of the sun as a hostage isn't weird either. Talos takes out the Fairbanks duplicate, but that's okay because Guy got the information from the real guy, who is in Russia. How did he get there? Luckily, Talos is able to call in the abort code as Fairbanks. That's nice. Unfortunately, Guy has been caught by Gravik. Yeah, there's no way that they took out Emilia Clarke halfway through the show. Oh, Fury's wife wants to talk to Gravik, and Colonel Rhodes is actually a Skrull? Don Cheadle is great here, even though I can guarantee that they'll pull a Skrull twist out of their butts later on. Told you so. Let's move on to episode 4. Surprise, Guy actually used the machine and got out of dying. Woo. Back in 2012, Fury and his wife meet in Paris. They talk about the Avengers after the Battle of New York and a poem about love. The Road Skrull threatens Fury and his wife, but Fury is listening in. That's not good. Not good at all. Meanwhile, Gaia teleports to Talos and asks him if he has a plan to get them a home. Talos tells his daughter that they have to help out Fury and talk the president into an amnesty agreement. Gaia dismisses that as delusional. Why? Earth's governments are the only entities that can help the Skrulls, and it's not like they can build a spaceship and fly away. Whatever. Fury and his wife meet back home again and have a confrontation. It turns out that they can't shoot each other, so they might be okay after all. Wait, is the Road Skrull a woman? Huh. Fury confronts the Road Skrull anyway with some $5,000 bourbon filled with nano-trackers. We get some repeating information and Fury asks for his job back. The Rhodes Scroll counters by pointing out that Fury supposedly took out Maria Hill, but he's going to keep it covered up if Fury shuts up. And what do you know? Fury planted nano-trackers in the alcohol, which leads him and Talos straight to the President. Oh, there's a Skrull strike incoming too, and they're trying to blame it on the Russians. You'd think that the governments of Earth would be smart enough to put 2 and 2 together, but they have to be stupid to move the plot along. Fury and Talos are on the scene though, so they fight, and fight some more. Some British operatives show up to help our heroes out, and they get to the President's vehicle. Talos gets shot in the arm, but he's able to bash the window in. Fury gets the President out, and a random British soldier follows with Talos. Oh wait, the Brit is actually Gravik. He stabs Talos and is able to tank bullets? Thankfully, some attack helicopters show up, so Gravik has to leave. Why? Oh. I'm not sure if these writers know how a conspiracy is supposed to work. On one hand, they paint the plot as this insane concept that no one will ever believe. On the other, things just happen for reasons, battles come out of nowhere, and this is all happening in a universe where Earth has already been invaded by aliens. But who knows, maybe the last 2 episodes will have an explanation for us. Oh. Episode 5 begins with President Ritson rolling into the hospital. Meanwhile, one Skrull criticizes Gravik because he failed to eliminate Fury. As you might have guessed, he's screwed, but we learn that the bad guy is after Avenger DNA. He wants Ritson to target New Skrullos. Ugh. Fury threatens not Rhodes. However, the Skrull leaked footage of Maria Hill's death, so Nick has to flee. Over at MI6, Sonya takes down the director. He's a Skrull and has to talk. That's all we learn there, though. Oh, and Gravik gets ambushed. It doesn't work out at all for the plotters. Fury meets with Gaia. She doesn't seem to care about the death of her father, but she points out that Gravik is looking for Avenger DNA. The meeting is cut short, though. Nick has to go to Finland to escape the police. At the same time, Sonya finds Dr. Dolden and some other Skrull who have the blueprints to the machine. MI6 torches the place and the Skrull guy threatens to kill the doctor. Let's just say that he doesn't get the chance. Gaia visits Priscilla and asks her to help bury Talos. After that, Not Rhodes lets the President know about New Skrullos and Gravik offers to take the harvest. Why would Nick even consider offering that? By the way, who is OT Fag Bentley supposed to be in this again? Gaia burns Talos and Gravik's squad arrives to take her and Priscilla out. Yeah, that's not happening because plot armor. Sonya picks Fury up and we head to a graveyard. Fury claims the harvest and arms up for a confrontation. Woo! On to the finale. After a phone call to Priscilla in the middle of a city, Fury gets the drop on 2 Skrulls and enters the compound. A little bit later, Not Rhodey mouths off to a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning, Admiral?
Isn't he still a colonel in the Air Force? Way to maintain your cover, you idiot. Oh, by the way, the Russians are supposedly massing on the Ukrainian and Finnish borders. The Rhodes Scroll is not subtle at all, which seems like bad writing in my view. Meanwhile, Fury enters the plant and starts coughing. Why? Oh. No, seriously, I don't know. He took some iodide pills that should last him a while. But I guess not. When he confronts Gravik, he drops them down a grate. This doesn't matter. In the machine room, Gravik points out that his face was taken from the first guy that Fury told him to eliminate. Gravik is super mad, but none of this matters. Fury offers him the harvest in exchange for leaving Earth alone. At the same time, Not Rhodes has been wheeling the President around the hospital. Also, the army is handing off orders for some reason. Suddenly, Sonya takes Not Rhodes hostage. Meanwhile, Gravik and Fury get the effects of the machine. It turns out that Fury in Russia is actually Gaia, and the real one is at the hospital. Yeah, this is going to be tensionless. Let's get this over with. Fury pleads with the President to call off a nuclear strike. Gaia takes out Gravik, and Fury eliminates Not Rhodes. After Gaia gets everyone out, the president says that he wants to kill all off-world species for some reason. Oh, I think I know the reason. They have to fulfill the theme that humans are jerks. Sonya recruits Gaia into MI6 and we quickly learn that Ritson inspired a bunch of vigilantes. Wait, why are they targeting humans? They never explain that. At the end of it, Fury and Priscilla, who is actually Vara, reconcile. It turns out that the Kree are open to peace talks with the Skrulls. Oh, and Vara loves Fury. That's kind of sweet, but this should have been ironed out over 2 to 4 more episodes. Oh, wait, they're setting up the Marvels, aren't they? So, that's Secret Invasion, and I think you can see the problems in it. There's so little to talk about because Marvel seems to have put action scenes ahead of a compelling story. While the cast is great, it's ultimately wasted because there's no rising tension. For all intents and purposes, this is a superhero story that you'll forget about in a week or 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Shares are important as well. Thank you for all of those. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, be sure to check out the links in the description. Keep your head up, and I'll see you next time.